Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's 2022 Tournament Game 4, where we are playing Nazca. This is turn 75. We got some stuff. Let's talk. Let's see what's what. So, kind of kicking things off, just a couple of little rituals here or there. Our normal fare, nothing big. We got a proclamation from Vanarus for a new prophet. Very cool. Desperation, the Vanabog. Good luck. Good luck, Desperation. My fingers are crossed for you. No discoveries for site searching the Forgotten Woods. Realized that I was. We got some battles. We got Vanarus attacking Vanheim in Vanarus. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I'm rendering, so these battles are going to be a little choppy. I do apologize in advance. Yeah, let's zoom in here real quick. Look at these. I love these guys. These Draugs. Very cool. So these are the Vandarusian forces assembled. Pretty sparse, but some heavy hitters in here. And they are up against... also fairly sparse, but also some heavy hitters in here. So, we've got a little bit of a spread of corpse constructs for various baiting. We've got a little stack of Einhair. We've got a healthy stack of Vans. And then a very healthy stack of Van Jarls. Oofa doofa. We've got the occasional Lizard Shaman kind of around and about. We've got some Harab Sheriffs with a Gate Cleaver. There's that going on. We've got a Naiad that's been transformed into a Great Bear. Very cool. We've got some more Gate Cleaver Windmasters over here, at least one. Another Harab Seraph over here. Probably just going to do some Horde of Skeleton spam. What does Vanarus have? Vanarus has a Gamayun over here. Little sparse Oathbounds all over the place. We've got some more Vanabogs. Lots of air gems. It's looking like maybe we're going for an air elemental play. Whole bunch of air gems. More air gems. We got some huge Herdmen over here on the side. We got the Draugs, which I think are really cool units, in the center. We've got a Vieden. Very cool. With Earth Boots. With an Earth Boots? Why did I say an Earth Boots? Strange. We've got a Sea King here. We've got a Troll Shaman. Bunch of different stuff. Let's see. Trying to take this in stride. What's gonna gear on? Summon a whole bunch of air elementals immediately to start off with, right? So 5 air elementals. We've got some army of giants. Interesting. Some lesser earth elementals, some regeneration. We got some marble warriors. So we're really gonna stack these Draug and make them strong. That's good. We've got what looks like a... what is this? Oh, is that Serpent's Blessing coming out? Like maybe a Serpent's Blessing. We got a Howl from the Vieden. Got a bunch of... got a bunch of Mist Forms out from the Van Jarls. The first wave of air elementals has landed. We got a Green Lion acting as kind of like a... second set of air elementals is up. We've got Howl up, and there we go. So it looks like, yeah, this Naiad Great Bear over here is casting Foul Vapors. So it looks like Vanheim is trying to do a little Foul Vapors play. With all of his stuff having poison resistance on his Bless, and then also Serpent's Blessing, he should be basically immune. And it does not look like Vanarus is going to be. So that is concerning. The problem with that is Vanarus is already kind of putting the hurt on Vanheim. There's a lot of air elementals in here. There's a lot of damage being done in various degrees. Vanarus still has their Vans and their Van Jarls, but most of the rest of their shit's been tattered already. That being said, the Van Jarls are now dropping on people and destroying things. But there are some Vanabogs and other things that they have to actually fight that will be potentially issues for them. Sorry, I didn't mean to go super fast. So a couple of Vanurals dying, but a couple of Vanarusian mages dying. The Vanurals seem to be winning in the background more often than not. And yeah. Looks like that is that. Unfortunate, eh? As a Vanheim win in that battle. Vanarus attacked Vanheim, but was defeated. Lost basically everything. The only thing they didn't lose was a Sea King. But I mean, Vanarus or Vanheim lost some stuff as well. I say lost some stuff as well. Most of what they lost 36 corpse constructs, which they do not care about in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They lost 13 Einhairs, which they don't really care about. They lost 2 Vans. Oh, not a big deal. They did lose a Harib Seraph, a Shaman, and a Windmaster, so that's not fun, but I think Van would probably look at this and be like, that's acceptable. I'm okay with that, right? This is probably some of the last vestiges of Vanarusian power, if not the actual last vestige of Vanarusian power. Which means that I think Vanheim looks at this and goes, yeah, very acceptable, right? And then there is a battle with Arcos Vale in the Dark Woods, fighting against... Oh, right. Because didn't we see... Oh. Yeah, there's Vine Ogres here. Okay. What is Arco got going on here? Is he sending in Depths of the Golden Order? Are these... What? Are these are Adepts of the Golden Order that he has enslaved-minded from Ulm, I would believe. Or is it Vanheim? Maybe Vanheim has the Adepts of the Golden Order. Either way, that's fucking cheeky as shit. Very cheeky. Sleep Cloud coming out. Opposition. Whole lot of opposition. Like he won without many issues there. Lost 2 Heart Companions. Exactly what you want to have happen, but on the grand scale of things, pretty acceptable. Okay, cool. So not a lot of crazy battles, but a pretty big battle, at least for Vanarus there, on their capital. I'm assuming that's probably going to be the last real vestige of Vanarusian resistance. I'm expecting Vanheim will probably mop them up in the next couple turns, which is not unexpected, but is somewhat concerning, right? Because that means then that Vanheim is gaining that territory. It does lengthen his front with Arcos Vale, which could be an issue, but it also means that Arco now receives the full attention of Van when this is all done. So, issues. We got some events, a bunch of events actually, for the turn. We have not been getting that many events here lately. This is nice to see. Hopefully they're mostly positive. Packwoods, Great Fertility Festival was celebrated in the province. Oh, right, the Throne of Gaia, gotcha. So we get some growth and some income. A runaway thief was slain in Old Man Mountains. His blood soaked the earth. Magical gems crystallized in the soil, so we got some earth gems. Nice. In Klon, we have another fertility festival from the Throne of Gaia. In Naranthian, the domain of growth and fertility is strong enough for a rebirth proc, so rebirth proc in Naranthian. In Bara, a handful of gems have been found in the shards of a broken mirror, so we got some air gems. Very cool. And in the Royal Green, a treasure has been found. Woo! So we get some gold, a bunch of gems, and a blue dragon scale mail. Very neat. And then in Might Marsh, one of our researchers has been cursed. So, we got, for the turn, events 1 negative and 6 positive for the turn. So the negative one being cursed. Uh-oh. And then we have Packwood's growth +2 and income +2, Klon growth +2 and income +2, Neranthian pop +280 and income +1. And then we have gold +1,335, fire gems +1, air gems +13, water gems +2, earth gems +7, and a blue dragon scale mail. So that's pretty neat. Very nice. Obviously, always happy to have a big gold event, but also just nice to see a bunch of mostly positive events, and the negative event that we got was mostly a minor negative event. The forces of the Throne of Gaia continue. Oh, no, never mind. They're slumbering now, so we don't have to worry about those events anymore. We do witness an attack on Ulm in White Peaks, the last vestiges of the Throne of Gaia. This is not very much, though. It's probably got this. Yeah. Oh, we routed them. Surely the light cavalry will be able to stand up to the gnomes, though. Okay, so Ulm wins there, defends that. Great. We get more people discovered. Runanka discovered in Ross and in Faraway Forest. This one hurts, because this one actually costs us a fucking ring of water breathing. That's unfortunate. But it is what it is, and yeah. So, what are we doing this turn? We got a bit of gold, so we are actually going to be able to recruit a little bit more, do a little bit more than we normally do. So that's going to be fun. Aside from that, Golm is getting very, very close to being done. Did we starve this turn? No, we didn't starve this turn. We're going to start starving soon, though, but we are going to burn this province basically to the ground. And then probably head up to maybe Pavonia or Mushwood. I'm not sure. We'll see. Not entirely positive. But we are also... we're going to send an Akla up here to be putting up a lab, basically. We're building a temple there this turn with Amul. So buildings, one temple. Boom. Got that. And then other things that we're doing, we are doing the Eternal Daisy Chain. I haven't really checked in on Pachacuti in a while. He is up to 283 experience. He is big boy. Really like him. Very, very cool. And I mean, the amount of experience that we have on a lot of these units is pretty good. Most... You can see, right, like, I think our Alka Karuna archers were in there from the beginning, and they're up to, like, 200 almost. Or over 200 for some of them. Which is really cool. Actually gives them several precision pips, which is nice. With a wind guide, that puts them up to actually 18 precision, which is pretty damn solid. Not that they're going to be especially useful, but who knows, maybe we'll catch someone with their pants down and be able to do, like, a flaming arrows kind of situation. But yeah, that's the fun stuff. And nothing else doing really kind of crazy, truth be told. Most of the stuff that we're doing is just in preparation of the inevitable attack on Pelagia, or our need to swap to Vanheim. But so far, Arco seems to be holding well. We are moving our scouts more into Arco proper, but we keep fucking losing scouts, which is fucking annoying as shit. That being said, moving on to recruitment. We're recruiting throughout the whole nation, but specifically we're recruiting 2 Apu, 2 Runanka, 1 Lizard Shaman, 1 Malqui Priest, and 1 Royal Malqui, as well as 5 Sun Guard. So, woo, yay, we get to do another Royal Malqui. Basically, every time we run into a big gold event, I'm trying to make sure that we turn that into a Royal Malqui when we can, when it, like, actually makes sense. We need more scouts because we keep losing more scouts. We need more Apu because we don't have the Apu to move around the Hatan Runa that we are producing. We actually have a bunch sitting there, which is not good, so we need Apu to go handle that situation. And I think this is probably the first time, yeah, it is. This is the first time we're actually going to start producing Lizard Shaman. I don't know if we're going to start producing them every single turn. We probably should. We probably should have been producing them every single turn for the last many turns. They are a cheap, efficient unit that is good for many different situations, though I probably should be producing them. We're just short on cash, honestly, is what it is. So yeah, that's pretty simple stuff. Excited about the additional Royal Malqui, obviously, right? We'll probably have them jumping into calling Supayas, so our Supaya count will go up just a tad, and we'll see how that goes. Also, I just want more Royal Malquis to be able to throw into battles. There are a couple of particular reasons. Obviously, Royal Malqui are... I've talked at length about Royal Malqui and how they are very good mages. They do have their limitations, the limitations being that they have issues boosting into good paths for the right situations. However, they are still innate spellcasters. You can, even with low paths, you can do a lot of really, really neat stuff with them, even without communioning. If you communion with them, they will burn out the communion all but guaranteed, unless the battle is the shortest battle in freaking existence. But... still a bunch of really, really cool stuff. Kind of excited to see how the next 10 or 15 turns go, as we hopefully get to engage Pelagia and start actually using some of the tools that we've been talking about for so long in this game, right? If we think about how long it's been since we've really been in a good, solid war, the last time we were really at war was like turn 30. Right? We had the fake war against Vanheim, where we took this territory, basically, from Ashdod, as Ashdod had, or from Van, as Ashdod had fallen. But we didn't really have to fight for that, right? Most of my game, most of the 75 turns of this game, aside from the first 24 turns, has been me negotiating tactics through. Right? I say that. I guess like the first 35, because after turn 24, we did fight against Agartha and take this land from them, right? When Ulm was fighting with us. So, it's just we haven't really had a lot. We haven't had a lot of battles once we have hit any sort of, yo, this is Nazca. Right? Like, we haven't been able to... The most Nazcan tactics we've been able to kind of like use have been, yo, here's a bunch of condors. Have fun. Right? And that tactic gets stale so quickly. It's been stale for so long. We haven't done anything else. And I'm actually really excited to kind of get into it. Sorry, moving on. I'm waxing poetic about a bunch of random inane stuff. Nazcan recruits for the turn. We got 48 Hatenruna over here in Golm. We are up to 165 Long Dead Warriors throughout our empire, 13 recalled Supaya, 2 summoned Supayas for 14 Supaya, and 1 summoned Huaka for 7 Huakas. Very, very cool. Very exciting stuff. Very happy to see how things go. Jump in right in the next thing. We continue our trend of special recruits. We have our quintessential 1 Direwolf, our 1 Duskwalker, but then we also have our 1 Earth Elemental, 1 Earth Gnome, or 3 Earth Gnomes, and 1 Sylph. So that's pretty cool. And much like last turn, we're kind of like saving a lot of our gems so that we have them for the fight against Pelagia. And we're being very reserved when it comes to casting ritual spells. Except we just got a shit ton of air gems in that event cycle. So fuck it. Queen of Elemental Air. We're gonna fish and see if we get a 3rd Queen of Elemental Air. This will probably be the last time we really have to be able to use air gems prior to battling against Pelagia, because we will need air gems to do things like Fog Warriors specifically, for the on-land battles. That's going to be very, very big for us. We can't take the Queens of Air underwater, so that will be it will be difficult to get Fog Warriors underwater. Our only hope there is to do an Inca with like a head here. What is that? What's it called? We can check the winged helmet, right? So you do like an Inco with a winged helmet, and I think that can make it, right? Because Fog Warriors is... No. See, that's not enough. You have to get to Air 4. So from there, you either have to cast Storm and then do Storm Power, and then you can Fog Warriors, or you need another booster, or you need to put them in a communion somehow. All of those are options for us. We can manage all of those things, but they are a bit annoying to try to accomplish. So it's just something for us to keep in mind as we watch what we're gonna have to face, basically. But yeah, anyways, ritual for the turn. Sorry, Queen of Air, one Queen of Air, and that's it. No other rituals aside from our normal Nazcan rituals. That does lead us to an ultimate gateway this turn of 20 air saved, 6 astral saved, and 8 death saved. So, my God, obviously, right. Saving 14 gems every single turn on the Huakas and the Sapayas is great, right? Like, that's great value, but you really feel it. I really feel it every single time I use the gateway for something big. It's like, I saved how many gems? Holy fuck. Like, that's a big chunk of gems, right? Shaving 20 gems off of an elemental royalty summons is it almost makes me kind of flippant towards it. But unfortunately, like, if only we were a little bit bigger, right? Like, if we had like Ashdod proper, right, and Ulm didn't, and we had all of the gem income and the income from that situation, I do feel like I would have just fought people way more frequently, because I would have felt way stronger than we are currently. I feel like we're so backyard budget Nazca right now. But the point that I was trying to make is that the ultimate gateway really does make me feel like we are stronger, maybe stronger than we actually are. So I probably need to be cautious about that. But at the current point in time, it's kind of like uplifting my spirits. We'll see how it goes. So aside from that, we have a little bit of forging going on. We have 1 Lightless Lantern, 1 Skull Mentor, 3 amulets, 2 amulets of the dead, sorry, 1 Ring of Water Breathing, 2 amulets of Anti-Magic, 1 Starshine Skull Cap, 1 Horn of Valor, and 1 Moonvine Bracelet. So a couple of newer things there. The research items, obviously just continuing to try to push our research, which is up to 1828. Cool. Very happy. We'll hit Alteration 8 next turn. Wait, didn't we hit Alteration 8? No, we'll hit Alteration 8 next turn. My brain. I just did the prep work for next turn, so my brain is on the next turn. So we'll hit Alteration 8 next turn. That will take us into Alt 9 a fair ways. I think like more than a 10th, like not quite a 20th though. Yeah, about like 15% of the way, I think, into enchantment or Alt 9, which means I think we are still kind of like on our track for turn 80 getting Alt 9 or turn 79 getting Alt 9. So us actually pulling the trigger might depend kind of a little bit on when that actually happens. And we might lose some research here in the near future as we move some mages around into better positioning to actually prepare for this inevitable war. But for the most part, normal stuff. Amulet of the Dead, normal stuff. Ring of Water Breathing, normal stuff. Amulets of Anti-Magic, normal stuff. Starshine Skullcap, nothing super out of the norm. We're just trying to fill out gear sets here. A Starshine Skullcap and a Crystal Coin on Koya, for example, takes them to Astral 4, right? Astral 4 lets us cast basically all of the stuff that we're going to want to cast, right? We can do stuff like anti-magic. We can do stuff like Will of the Fates, right? So plenty of opportunities there, and we can even boost into other things depending on what we need to try to accomplish. So yeah, simple stuff there. The Horn of Valor we already have one of. We are starting to try. We're gonna have a couple of Incas leading some bigger armies for the land battles, and we might actually take some of them underwater with barrels of air, depending on the situation, right? Depending on how things kind of resolve. But we definitely want them to be good, button down on land. And one of the big things that is important is making sure your fucking army doesn't route to things like Wailing Winds. Because, yeah, I say as we're also probably going to prepare to cast things like Wailing Winds for ourselves, right? But having like gear sets of helmets of inspiration, horns of valor. There's the spear, right? You can get your inspirational boost up to plus 3, 4, 5 ish pretty easily. It does take a little bit of gearing, but that can mean that instead of having one, right? Instead of having a Sun Guard, right, who comes at a base of 13 morale, right? You can have, if you've got plus 4 inspiration on an Inca already has plus 1. So you get a plus 1 inspiration on an Inca, and then all of a sudden that plus 4 is a plus 5. So all of a sudden that base is instead of a 13, it's an 18, right? 18 is way less fucking likely to just rout. And then you throw in the mix that, oh, it's not 18, it's fucking, it's got plus 2 pips, or it's got plus 3 pips, so it's actually a 20, right? You start getting to that point to where we're trying to layer all of these different things, experience pips, protection against things like Wailing Winds or Blood Rain or shit like that, etc., layered opportunities. We're really trying to stack the deck in our favor so that when we hit, right, and honestly, this is, it just is what it is, right? But, like, there's not a lot going on here. There's not a lot going on here. There's basically nothing going on here. There's not a lot going on here. There's not a lot so these land forts, we're going to hit hard with, like, big-ass stacks to try to make to where Pelagia just can't fight us in that initial, like, salvo, right? Take all of their land forts, make it to where they can't fight us on land, and then put them on the back foot by attacking in the water as well, right? Like, so we want to do that simultaneously. We want to hit their land forts and hit them in the water with multiple stacks of Supayas, Huron priests, multiple stacks of Long Dead all over the place. Basically, hit here, everything that we touch, and maybe even a layer in if we can, right? We want to hit so that they instantly lose a third of their mass, right? And they're potentially a little overwhelmed, and they're going to have an easier time defending their underwater provinces, which means if they lean towards those underwater provinces, we have an easier time cracking their land forts, and then we'll focus in and see how the battle goes. Because it might end up that Pelagia kicks our ass, or it might end up that we kick Pelagia's ass, or it might end up that we kick Pelagia off land. Right? And hopefully we get more than just land, but even if we only get land, that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 provinces. Yeah, 7 provinces, not 8 provinces. That's another 7 provinces. That's not a lot. I would prefer those 7 provinces in, like, this, right? Like, that would be fantastic. I'd prefer all of it. But we'll have to see how it goes. So, anyways, you know, I'm excited, right? Like, After making the decision and giving yourself a turn deadline or whatever, where you're like, okay, we're gonna go to war with Machaca on turn 32. It's 8 turns away. I'm prepping this, and this before them, right? It gives you this kind of like feeling of productivity, and it gives you this feeling of anticipation, but it also gets you thinking about all of these things. Like, what am I gonna do? Okay, when I do that, what is Pelagia going to do, right? What is my opponent going to do when I throw a Mound King with 100, well, with 80 Long Dead, right? And two Huron Priests, one of which is Astral, right? With 40 Supayas into the same province that has one of these half forts on it, right? These things only have 100 wall integrity, 40 Supaya. Supaya has 2 siege strength, so 40 Supaya is 80 siege strength. Every Long Dead has 1 siege strength, so 80 of those is going to be 80 siege strength, so we're looking at 160 siege strength. That cracks one of these little forts in an instant, right? And actually, it doesn't take much more for us to crack a 250 as well. So what is my opponent going to do, and what can I do to anticipate that? What can I... It's a lot of fun. I think it's one... I think it might be one of my favorite portions of the game is the lead up to a war. I enjoy actual wars. They're fun, especially when you win, obviously, right? But the lead up to a war can sometimes be more interesting and more fun for me because there's so much anticipation to it. It's almost like etching. Anyways, on that note, thanks for hanging out, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time for more Nazca. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.